What do you think is the most valuable good deed you could possibly do? Is it donating a huge amount of money, or maybe a lifelong commitment to a cause? Well, there's this ancient Buddhist text that gives a fascinating and, honestly, a pretty surprising answer. It lays out this kind of ladder of merit, and trust me, where it ends up might just change how you think about doing good.
So how exactly do we climb this ladder? Well, we're going to start at the very bottom with what seems like the ultimate good deed, an act of generosity that's almost impossible to imagine. From there, we'll see how each rung takes us higher, through commitment and virtue, until we get to the very top, where a single thought can change absolutely everything.
All right, so to kick things off, this ancient text, or sutra, tells us a story that basically sets the gold standard for charity. It's about a guy, a Brahmin named Virama, whose generosity was, and I'm putting it mildly here, completely off the charts.
The Buddha uses Virama to set a baseline for what a meritorious act even is. I want you to think of the wealthiest, most generous person you can possibly imagine, and then multiply that by like 1,000. That's the scale we are talking about here.
Okay, you're going to see this number a lot, 84,000. Now, this isn't meant to be a literal count. In these ancient texts, it's kind of poetic shorthand for a huge, almost uncountable amount. It's meant to really stretch our imagination and give us a sense of giving on a staggering scale, setting a baseline that seems impossible to ever beat.
And look at the sheer extravagance here. We're not just talking about cash. It's bowls of solid gold and silver, decorated animals, the finest clothing, even entire houses. So the Buddha describes this enormous, mind-boggling material donation to establish the absolute peak of worldly charity. But then, he completely flips the script.
So, right after laying out this unbelievable act of generosity, the Buddha hits us with the first big surprise. He says that, as incredible as Virama's donation was, there's something else you can do that has even greater merit.
And boom, here's our first major step up the ladder. The text says that a purely internal act of commitment is worth more than that entire mountain of physical gifts. We're making a shift from the material world to the world of our own inner conviction.
So what does it mean to take the three refuges? Well, it's not just about reciting a few words. It's a fundamental reorientation of your entire life. It means placing your deepest trust in the path to enlightenment, in the teachings that guide you, and in the community that supports you. The Sutras even says this act provides fearlessness to all beings, because someone on this path is committed to causing no harm. Okay, let's climb to the next rung. We've gone from giving thanks to making a deep internal promise. What could possibly be better than that? Well, the Buddha explains that the merit you get from taking refuge, which is already immense, is actually surpassed by actively observing the 5 precepts. You know, these are the core ethical guidelines. Don't kill, don't steal, don't lie, and so on. It's the difference between having faith and actually putting that faith into consistent, virtuous action every single day. And right here, this is where the ladder takes its most radical turn. We've gone from giving to commitment to action. Now, we are pivoting straight into the realm of pure consciousness, the mind itself. Seriously, just think about that for a second. We've just covered unimaginable wealth and deep, consistent ethical practice. What kind of thought could possibly be more powerful than all of that put together? The sutra is telling us that a specific state of mind holds a power that completely dwarfs everything we've seen so far. And this right here is such a central idea. All that wealth, all that commitment, all that virtue, it is all outweighed by the merit of generating a genuine feeling of boundless, unconditional love for every single being, even if it only lasts for a moment. It just shows the incredible creative power of the mind. We've now climbed past unimaginable wealth, profound commitment, daily virtue, and even boundless compassion. What could possibly top that? We've finally arrived at the very summit, the single most powerful and meritorious act a person can perform. The text culminates in this one powerful thought, which you can see here in the original Chinese. It translates to something like developing an aversion to all worldly things. Now, I know that word aversion can sound really negative, right? But its real meaning here is so much deeper than that. See, this isn't about hating the world or being a pessimist. It's about seeing the world clearly. It's the profound wisdom of finally recognizing that everything in our worldly experience, pleasure, pain, success, failure, it's all temporary. And because of that, it can't on its own provide lasting happiness. So this aversion isn't disgust, it's a deep letting go of our need to cling to fleeting things. And that, the text says, is what ultimately liberates the mind and leads to the end of suffering.
So let's put it all together now. Let's take a look at the complete ladder we've just climbed and really see the whole progression, from the most external act all the way to the most internal insight. And here it is, the entire path laid out for us. You can see this clear progression, starting with external acts like generosity and climbing all the way up to these powerful internal states like compassion and ultimately wisdom. It's not that the lower rungs are bad at all. It's just that the value consistently moves from the outside in, culminating in the transformative power of your own mind.
So in the end, this ancient text isn't dismissing good deeds, not at all. It's simply asking us to reorder our priorities, and it leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. While our actions in the world definitely matter, maybe, just maybe, the most valuable work we can ever do is transforming the inner landscape of our own minds.